I'll bet you never guess what I got for you today. I know. You're probably thinking Ferrari, Maserati. No, I'll do you one better. What we have here is a fine 2011 Volkswagen GTI. I know. Nice piece of machinery for what we have here. So anyways, what I'm going to be doing today is, I don't know how this looks. So here's my light with the, nope, it's not gonna work like this. Is it better or worse? I don't know. Anyways, I look dead anyways. Today we are going to do a rear main seal on a DSG, and I forgot my freaking plugs, damn it. Anyways, we are going to be removing a DSG, so stick along for the ride. It's so heavy. Yeah, so alright. See ya in a minute. Or a split second. Obviously, first things first, remove your airbox, if you have one, or whatever you have for your stuff. Engine cover. I think I'm supposed to reseal that. Honestly, I don't remember what I'm doing anymore. I think I'm resealing that, so that could be another video, I guess. So weak. Get all your covers off, too. Everything. He already took this thing to work and pressure washed it off. Hopefully get some of the, what the hell is this? I guess this isn't hooked up anymore, okay. Let's start taking apart, I guess. First thing, battery, missing the batteries right there. Remove, obviously, the battery tray. Obviously. Okay. Alrighty then. Okay. So I have my secondary air. California. So this one is a CBFA. Go ahead and pop this off. Can. Pop that off. Here. These are very fragile if you have low miles in your car, so do not bend those very much. They will just snap right off. It's exciting times. Take your starter connector off. There's like a red thing in there. There's that red, gosh dang, lock right there. you pull the lock back, then be a man about it and just pull it. Pull it. Okay. Can't do it with me. Okay. Pretty sure it's already built. Pull it. There we go. You have your 13 for that. Oh, why did I hate this? Oh, there we go. Okay, that's a 13. Lift this thing up. Kill my knees. Undo that 13. Pull that to the side. Your little cam lock for your DSG connector, which is you just twist it to the left. Twist, pull it off, and okay, and starter. I think that 16 is your starter, one of your starters. Got 13 down here. Ground. That's your ground strap for your trainer right there. That's also the other starter bolt, which is also a 16 millimeter, which I don't think I'd be able to reach with this. You have your starter. Also inside the lower starter bolt hole. So after you get starter off, there's a secret bolt, which is, I think, oh, it's just a, I believe it's just a triple square that you, oh, it's an 18. So you have it, you can use an 18 to get to it. So that's like, I almost got that off with my 1/4" ratchet. So not very tight. Bolt out. Okay, then the clip back here for the shifter, cable linkage. Just all you gotta do is pull back on this tab right here on the middle, pull back and it slides right off. After you got that out, then there's a bigger clip on the shift linkage, which you have to get out, which helps to have a big flat head if you got one. Which is all the way back here. Get you in there. So you just kind of take your screwdriver here and you just work it. Work at it. This one. And this is going to allow you to drop it and didn't hit the floor. So then what you're going to do is, god damn it. So now that I have that clip out for this black piece right here, capture that. This thing is just getting everywhere. So you slide this off, kind of hard, then you end up like this. Then you can just push the cable through. So it's going to take a little bit of force, but it helps to have it in park. So if you have it in park, I left mine in neutral so I could roll it around, but if you leave it in park, then you can get the cable a little more into the sheathing and then get it out. But essentially just push it through and pull it out. All right, so let's keep going here. Okay. So then you have your 18 here. You have 2 more 18s on the top. So what helps to have is, obviously this is your cooler right here on top. So it has coolant going through the hoses. So what helps to have is some pinch off pliers for this, which I totally forgot at work. So I may or may not take that off tonight. I'm just gonna leave it on for now. So you just undo these little clips here. Also, these are amazing pliers for taking off these clamps. These ones are made by Blue Point, but a lot of companies sell them now. You can get them on Amazon. And then you would just pull those off, and then you pinch them off and pull them off. I feel like this thing's under pressure or something. Oh, it's really hard. Okay. I guess there's another 18 you can get up here for the transmission, which is, it's either, doesn't really matter, it's down right below the starter. If I can get it right now. And also be careful of this little hose here, right here for the coolant. It'll just snap off super easy onto off your radiator, especially if you got a lot of miles on your car. I think I'm just gonna take this off from below because I don't have much room. And same one, there's a really similar one over back there by the heater core, which is you're just like, I'm gonna look back there, and then it's broken. So be careful of that one back there. It goes off the back side of this one back there. Okay. So now I'm going to lift it, take the wheels off, undo the control arms, and all that fun stuff, and change my battery. Now a lot of this is going to be the same as the automatics, or sorry, the manual transmissions. The axles are the same, the axle nuts. Well, you don't have to pull this side out, but everything's pretty much exactly the same. As far as the hubs, both the hubs got to come off. And just all your pendulum out, blah blah blah. So I'm gonna go ahead and I want to put my engine cradle on right now. I'd leave it off. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get down. You can just refer to the manual transmission removal. It's the same thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and just unbolt everything. I'm gonna bolt the lower control arms, pendulum mount, the axles, blah blah blah. The intercooler hose off. I can take the other side off because I got to reseal the timing cover. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start taking all this apart. Well, it is the next day. Oh my god, what is all over you, dog? That better be mud. Ugh. Anyways, so I was trying to break the bolt loose for the pendulum bolt. Abby, shh. Trying to break the bolt loose for the pendulum mount, and it was just stuck in there. So the upper rubber part where it's bolted to just ripped off. So now instead of doing the subframe my way, I'll just do it the hard way. It's not really. It kind of sucks because he has the centering. Abby, shh. He has the centering kit for a subframe. So I'm just going to show you guys how to drop the whole subframe with the steering rack and everything. And it makes it way easier if you're installing a sway bar. So this is kind of how to install a sway bar, how to do this. So now I'm going to go inside the car, disconnect the steering column from the... Alrighty, so I'm going to crawl under the dash, and I will try and show this, but it's pretty basic, but I'll do it anyways. Okay, you need a 13. I don't know where my 13. If I can capture this or not. Okay, I can't really. So you go ahead, twist these screws off. You can just use your fingers. Pull the cover off. And the cover is off now. And this sucks. 13 is right there. So go ahead and remove that 13. Ratchet's in my pocket. I think. Yep. What size did I grab? I grabbed a 12. Dang it. Okay, so 13 is off. So all you gotta do is pull up on this. Lift the shaft away from lift it, pull it up. This is terrible. And then just push it down. Okay, so other thing you gotta make sure is you do not want to spin the steering wheel. So after, oh god damn, this is terrible. Record this. Just make sure your steering wheel doesn't spin around, or else your steering angle will be off. Just make sure it's straight. Leave it there, and you're golden. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is drop the whole subframe with the sway bar and the control arms and everything. Which it's kind of heavy, so this sucks. It's just awkward on the lift because I have to use like up lower down onto something and whatever. I'll show you guys. So just remove the subframe, all the subframe bolts that are attached to the body, which are, you can just look and see which ones those are, and then so I'll be doing that right now. my favorite clamp in the jam thing. Sucks. Okay, so I got the 10 out for the power steering line. So you have to unplug the power steering rack from the power steering, whatever. So I'm gonna lift it up. I'm gonna support the subframe with and everything on the. I use a metal trash can, and then I'm gonna unbolt the last bolt, and then you also gotta take the exhaust hanger off, the two 13s, and so then what I do is if you're using a jack or something, because you gotta unplug the clips for the power steering, is you undo it all and lower a little bit, and you know, it can pull a little bit on the power cable, but it'll just give you enough room to reach in there and unplug it. But I'll go ahead and I'll show you guys in a second when I get it all lifted up. So you gotta you gotta disconnect your take off your tie rod ends, which is a 18. Now that just came out really easy. They don't always come out that easy. So sometimes you gotta, we'll see if the other side does it or not. I'll show you guys. Right here. I got the tie rod. So this one doesn't come out. So what you do is you put the nut on so you don't miss with your hammer. And don't, you're gonna smack it right here. So don't hit it from under here, just hit it right here and then the shock will break it loose. See? And then I'm gonna disconnect the end links from the shock. Okay, I'll move on to the other side. Take the other sway bar end link off. I just prefer taking these off. It's just easier for me, I feel like. Since you have no end links on or no tie rods, you can just turn it heck easy. Go ahead and just take this one off. So now there should be nothing left. So I took the 16s off the control arms, so those are just sitting here on both sides. I got one more, there's one subframe bolt right here, and then you can go in through the control arm. Pendulum mount has to come unbolted. Let's see what else. And so I undid the steering rack in the car. I gotta undo the 13s down here for the and lower it onto the garbage can. Of course, you can use a jack. So now that it's on the garbage can, I'm gonna take the last subframe bolt out. We have here is the damaged pendulum mount at the top. Oh, my autofocus is off. So that's all spun up and it just ripped out of there. So this is essentially how you would do a sway bar also for the people. So I'll make a separate video, I guess, on how to do a sway bar. So you go ahead and drop your subframe. So there's a total of, so you got 1 bolt here in the back, and here, and here, and here. And then you also have that last one up here. And then, so here's the 2 connectors for the power steering. So they have 2 locking red tabs on them, kind of like the starter. So they'll be pushed in, most likely, if someone's never been in there. I can't do it now because they're not lush. So you just go ahead and pull back the red tab, and then you can then release it. So the trick is there's not very much room down there. So you push it on, and you pull back real hard, and you'll hear like a click on the big one. And then that means you got it, and so just pull it off. Same thing on the small one. It's got the release right there, the red locking release. So pull that back, push on, and then you push this down and pull it off. So those will be up here. And so what you do is you just take this cover's covering them, just go ahead and bend it up a little bit. If you want to take it off, that's a couple T30s, but it's a pain in the butt. So you leave this bottom one on because that goes to the steering angle sensor. What? Maybe. So yeah, this is one and then the other. It's pretty tight in there, so you just gotta make sure you got it. And then this was also attached to this plastic piece, goes in here. So you gotta pull that out, and then the 10 mil was screwed on over here, down here. So this is pretty much how you do a front sway bar if you ever want to do one on a GTI. It's actually not bad. It really isn't. This one has the, I forget what company makes them. So the anti-clunking for the subframe, and that can be, it's gonna be a little bit of a pain in the butt to line those up again. I really hate that sometimes. So then now you got all this room in here to drop the transmission. So now you just come straight off and down. Makes it super easy, but unfortunately, you know, you have to drop. You don't have to on a DSG, but unless you're super strong or you got a tranny jack, you can do it. But it's a real pain in the butt. Because what I originally was going to do is just drop the center section and leave the rack and everything up there, but yeah, the pendulum broke, so we have a 034 that I'll be installing. But I gotta go ahead and cut this one out of there. So yeah, there's your sway bar, steering rack, and the DSG. So yeah. Alrighty, subframe's out of the way. Now I'm gonna take this boost pipe off and start removing the lower transmission bolts and then the axles. Freaking dog always just want to escape. Oh, these are 7mm if you have a 7. Or a flathead. And just pop these clips off the intercooler. Just gotta pop them off a little bit. Cover it up. This one can be a little kind of pain in the butt. You kind of got to screw the screwdriver between the intercooler piping and the plastic. Jeez, this is really on there. Okay. Now let me fight this thing. can get a little bit of oil out of your intercooler piping. That's pretty normal. If it drifts out. Can I help you?
Just putting it in here.
It's like that.
That firewood for tomorrow.
Okay. You've had it in your trunk for like a month. Take the subframe off. You got all this room for the axles now. Oh, look at that hair. Hey, ladies. Yeah, you got all this room now. For the DSG, I saved this 18 for last. So just take off all your bolts for the bell housing, and I leave this one for last because if you're supporting the transmission from the side, you don't really have much room to get into the front. So I go ahead and I just do this one last and then push it off. And you still have to take this one off, this axle nub, because it hits right here and you get stuck on this plate inside here. So you can leave this side on this nub, which is kind of nice, I guess. Yeah. Because now you have all the room over there. And if you were doing a downpipe, so like, you know, if you're doing a rear main or something doing a downpipe, you got all this room right here to get to your downpipe or turbo or whatever. I gotta reseal his. Actually, it looks like pretty good. It's not leaking. I don't know. I'm supposed to reseal this cover, but it looks pretty good. But I guess I'll just do it anyways. So, okay. It's a 6mm Allen, just like the manual from the middle. Yeah, this looks really tight. Damn. It's a little tough to get with my ratchet, the 1/4 inch one. Here, there's 2 10s holding this bracket on right here, so you need to get those off. that off there like that. Okay, I think I got all my bolts. And there's one up here. So you got this 16s across the bottom, and the last 16s right here, and then right above it there's an 18. And then you're pretty much ready to drop it. I just gotta go support it from the top, which I'll do right now. And then, because I gotta replace its engine mounts too, so. These are like, to pinch off these hoses, because they're gonna leak coolant. But you can go ahead and use like, you know, those cheap ones at Harbor Freight or whatever. They have plastic ones, or, you know, you get cheap ones, doesn't matter. It just saves you from leaking a bunch of coolant out and making a mess. It's still gonna leak whatever's in here. Go ahead and get, so you gotta be careful with getting your screwdriver in this hose. Don't stick any pliers on it because you could smash the tubing. Then you'll be screwed. So I like to stick a flathead in there and work it. Because you can, you know, crank this pretty easy, this aluminum tubing. Now, see, there's the shift linkage back there. So what you can just go ahead and just push it through the bracket hole. And go put it in park. I think it helps to do it from underneath the car, so I'm going to just lift it up, get it underneath the car. You can do it from the top if you forget. Put it back on. This guy has the dead set kit installed on his car. People that don't know, this is the Mark 6's had terrible clunking from the subframe. So the company made 42 draft or something like that. They made this kit that takes up all the slot. So the good thing is, at least his alignment shouldn't be theoretically off from the, because the subframe won't move over left or right. It'll just be in its own little thing. Okay, so what we have here is a classic case of what the keeps going on. Hopefully none of that will out of focus. So what you do is go pry off the downpipe, and then you can go ahead and start with your fingers. And then you don't want to try to push it with your hand, because if you only catch like the first few threads, you can go ahead easily strip out your threads from the transmission, and then it's it's essentially your differential. Losing track of my tools now. I'm gonna go back over that with the wrench. Let's see if I can. I don't know how I keep turning autofocus off. Lake. Okay, axles are on, and I'm gonna leave the subframe off. Well, that doesn't matter. Why I'm gonna leave the subframe off. Making a separate video for removing the timing cover over there. But for now, I'm gonna lower the car down, and then I'm gonna put the motor mount back on, the new one, upgraded. Still. There we go. All right. I just filmed a bunch of crap in a short amount of time. So, thank you for watching this video. This concludes the. Let's go with the DSG install because I got a lot of videos to make, a lot of these to make. So that concludes the DSG install, and I hope, I don't know, it gives you a better idea of how it all comes apart, whatever, goes together, and you can do it all in your garage. And I got a giant mess to clean up, so like, comment, subscribe, and alright, have a good day. Great day, great evening.